Hey, what's up, everyone? It's another BRAP rant. I told you I'd do another one if I felt compelled to. If some huge news dropped, and sure enough, we have some big, late-breaking Xbox-related news. So yeah, we're going to talk about that, and we also have some news related to Cliffy B that actually ties into Xbox as well. But before we start, I want to introduce someone who I've had the pleasure of podcasting with before on Lucas' channel on the Scumcast, which goes live every Saturday. We have special first time guest, I should say, Slow Mo Backslap. What's up? What's up, Slow Mo?
Hey, how's it going, Enrique? Man, thanks for having me on. Appreciate it.
Yeah, let me just tell you something, man. I love your avatar. Yeah, that is hilarious.
Look, man, I got a lot of crap for my old picture, which was literally a guy getting slapped just like my avatar.
Yeah,
And people were just like, dude, that's horrible. It's horrible. Please get rid of it. And I'm like, okay. And so I just went and got one made that was exactly like it. So I technically did do what they wanted me to do, but it's what I like. So hey.
I mean, it's the same thing.
Exactly.
It's the same thing, man. It's like there's no difference.
Nope.
Oh man, people are funny like that. That's funny though. But hey, you know what, man? I think you should revert to it, and maybe, or you know what, just like maybe like every other week, maybe go back to the old one. You know, kind of switch it up a little bit.
Oh yeah. I actually was thinking about like just finding other pictures of people getting backslapped. It will likely be, kind of this sounds terrible. It might be like pimps or something like that. I don't know if anyone takes pictures of pimps backslapping people. Oh, maybe it'll be baby powder.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, baby powder. Like someone having baby powder and putting it on their hand, and just get the implication. This means someone's about to get backslapped. I don't know, but I'll figure it out. I want to have fun with it.
Oh my god, dude, that'd be so funny, man, with the baby powder. That'd be hilarious. So, well, thank you, man, for coming on. It was kind of a last minute type thing. I reached out to some folks in DM. And was like, hey, I'm gonna do a BRAP rant. You know, can you join me? And you were like, yeah, I'm ready to go, man. So thank you, man. Definitely appreciate it. And we may have some other folks joining us as the show goes on. But yeah, we have a great show, a great rant coming to everyone listening. And as I mentioned, some big Xbox related news as it relates to Microsoft first party studios, which is interesting, Slow-Mo, because this comes at like the tail end of, Ryan McCaffrey's tweet this past weekend where he more or less is saying, hey, Xbox fans are dying to have a game like God of War, which, oh my God, comes out this Friday, man. I cannot wait.
Right? I know. I'm so excited.
Like Friday is like, it can't be here soon enough. Like I just can't. I can't even. You know what, man? I'm telling you, like there's a couple games this console generation, man, that when I fired them up, have me like put down the controller and say, "Wow."
Yeah.
And I get a feeling just based on some of the reviews that I've read, I'm gonna have that same feeling. I had it with Breath of the Wild. I had it with Persona 5. Hell, I had it recently with Bloodborne.
Really?
Yeah, I had a wow moment with Bloodborne. Once I figured out that I couldn't fight a werewolf with my bare fist, and I went and got a weapon, and I started getting into the combat more, and I started beating the bosses, man. Well, even before I started beating the bosses, once I started like getting into like the combat aspect of the game.
Well, I gotta tell you, I haven't had that feeling for a while. I mean, that feeling of like I know it's like 2 a.m, but I can't stop playing this game kind of feeling.
Really?
I'm gonna be really messed up at work tomorrow, but it's so worth it feeling. I haven't had that in a little while. Like I almost kind of had that with Persona 5. There haven't really been a lot of games that I've been lately that I've been just, so enamored with. So just, into the world and the experience that I just couldn't put it down. I couldn't play anything else. I'm hoping God of War is that, because I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm in a funk or a mood. I get in a mood sometimes. But I just I don't know. It's been a while since I've really enjoyed a game like that. So I'm hoping God of War is it, because I've read some reviews And I told myself I wasn't going to read any reviews.
Yeah, I said the same thing, man. And I just couldn't resist.
Yeah, and that was me too. Like I had heard that a lot of reviews were spoiling things, like with pictures and some of the details they were saying in a review. So I said, you know what? I'm not going to read any reviews. I know it's going to be great. I'll just play it. But then, like, so many people kept talking, and then it was like, oh, it got 95 on Metacritic, and I'm like, oh, well, okay, maybe I should read a couple. And the hype is just it's just too much. So Friday, I mean, I got Friday is rough for me because my wife got with a couple of friends that just found this out, and she's like, "Oh, you know, we want to do a movie night." And I'm like,
"Movie night?
No,
like, movie night. We can't have a movie night on Friday night, man.
No, not now. Oh, I'm like, not this Friday, any Friday, but this Friday. So I'm trying to figure some things out.
Did you tell her that Kratos is coming over?
my wife, if I said that, I'm like, but baby, Kratos is coming over. Don't you know? And she just probably look at me like, what are you talking about? You be ready when you get home from work. That would be that kind of look. So yeah, I'm gonna have to figure something out. I mean, it's gonna have to be some shenanigans I'm gonna have to pull to get out of this.
Yeah, Jay Street says he took Friday off.
Smart man, real smart.
Yeah, smart Jay Street. I'm sure you know what. I'm sure a lot of people have. OBJ Don says time for a divorce. Wow.
Man, we got 3 kids, man. I couldn't do that. I couldn't do that to my kids.
Yeah. Can't do that to the little ones.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, hey, by the way, big shout out to everyone in the live chat. We have HDK in the house, J Street, OBJ the Don, Nels Coney. We have Irrelevant Native, aka Irrelevant Fraud. Hey, Irrelevant Native, check your DM. What do you mean? I gotta bounce. Come on, man. You just got here.
Boom.
He's probably going to another podcast to hop in. He's like a groupie, man. I see him in like random podcasts on the live chats. So, but it's all good.
Did you just call him a groupie?
Yeah, he's like a groupie.
Oh my gosh, wait, is he the irrelevant groupie?
Yeah, he's like, I'm still at work, son.
Okay, that's legit. He's still at work. We don't want Native to lose his job because he's listening to a podcast.
Yeah, we don't want Irrelevant to be irrelevant unemployed, because that would not be good. So no, thank you, Irrelevant, for stopping by, man. Appreciate it. Even though you're at work. So yeah, man, I'm gonna have to wait till after work and till the kids go to bed on Friday to pop in God of War, unfortunately, man. So
look, HTK 360 says he's trying to finish up What Remains of Edith Finch. And it's funny he mentioned that because just before we started, I saw on Twitter that What Remains of Edith Finch on Xbox is only $12 right now.
Oh, that's a steal.
Yes, still. Like, I don't know if anyone likes those kind of games where it's not a lot of action, but it's basically
a walking simulator.
It's a walking simulator, but it's a great walking simulator. Like, that could be a movie. It could be
yes.
It's such a great story. So if you haven't, anyone listening, if you haven't played it yet, it's not that long. It's like 4 or 5 hours, really, but it's worth it, especially for $12. It's worth it. It's a great story.
How about the scene? How about that scene at the cannery?
Yeah, that's what I love about that game, because every single story about each person in that family, I don't want to get into any spoilers, but it's so different.
Yeah, it's very different. It's different. The common theme is that there's I don't want to give this away. Never mind. I don't want to say that.
Yeah.
Still playing it, so I'm not going to say that. But yeah, you're right. Like, it's each story is kind of unique.
And it's got a twist at the end that I didn't really expect. And also, maybe when we off the air we'll talk about this, but like there's some theories about that family that it's not really put in your face in the story, but I think the developers kind of like gave the eye wink. Yeah, that's kind of what it is. That we can bring it up later because we both of us have finished it, but we don't want to ruin it for anyone else.
I might have to go back and play that game again because it's probably one of those games where if you go back and play it a second and third time, you'll probably start picking up on little things that you didn't that you didn't catch on before the first time.
Yeah. I played it on PC because it's a game you can play. Like my PC's trash, but it's a game you can play on PC easily. But I might pick it up on Xbox for $12 and play it again, just because. It's just such a good game. I love games like that, like Firewatch. I thought Firewatch was awesome. I love the ending to Firewatch. A lot of people didn't like the ending, but I loved it.
Oh, I love the ending.
Yeah, ending's awesome. And I also have The Vanishing of Ethan Carter. That
I still haven't played that.
I haven't played it yet. It's in my queue of things, but I'm gonna get to it. I'm definitely gonna get to it sometime this summer when things start to slow down. And not too many games coming out, and everyone's waiting for Spider-Man and all that.
Yeah, no doubt, man. Nels Coney, I know the Caps are down 0-2, man. You don't have to rub it in my face. Look, they're gonna end up getting swept. You know what? They'll win one game. They'll go down 3-1. And then it's so long. Washington Caps.
You're a Caps fan?
Yeah, man. It's just
I'm sorry for laughing.
It's all right, man.
I work. See, I live in the DMV area. I live in the DC area.
Wait a minute. Hold on. You're from the DMV too?
Yeah, man.
Lobo, what? What's going on, man? How come we don't? I never knew that.
Yeah, man.
Oh my God, man! Here I am thinking like you probably like. I'm thinking like you live like somewhere near Luca or something, but you're the DMV.
I'm in the DMV.
Nice, man.
Taking an hour and a half to get to work because we got the worst traffic.
Yes, the Capital Beltway.
Oh, it's terrible. It was actually pretty good today. On my way home, it was only took me about 45 minutes. I work in Chantilly, but then live like in Maryland. So you
live in Maryland, commute to Chantilly. Jeez, that's a hike, man.
Yeah, but I love my job.
You must love your job if you sit in traffic, man.
I get to make my own hours, so it's,
there you go, man.
It's worth it. It's a trade off that I've accepted. But yeah, man. A lot of my coworkers are Caps fans, and I feel for you guys because every single year it's the same thing.
Oh man, tell me about it. It's
like you're the best team in the regular season, and then you get to the playoffs, and then it's just what happened. It's every single time. It's funny.
It's gut wrenching, man. It's like, it's the same thing with the Nationals. It's them too, and it's no one has any expectations of the Redskins anymore.
Hey, I am a diehard Redskins.
Man, hey. I am not a diehard Redskins. Let me tell you something, man. I cannot. That man has ruined that franchise.
Yeah, Dan Snyder. Yeah, he's the worst thing that has happened to that franchise.
Let me tell you something. Like we talk about like fanboys and corporate slaves.
Mm-hmm.
I want Redskins fans to stop going to FedEx Field, stop paying $30 for a beer, stop paying.
It is pretty expensive.
Those enormous prices for yes. That's when he says trade Ovechkin. He's right. We got OJ to Don. He said, "Don't down talk about Redskins." We got to down talk the Redskins, man. At least
I think OBJ is in the DMV too. He's got the DMV. I mean, he's talking about Caps. He's like, don't talk my Redskins. Really, you have to be a DC area or maybe North Carolina, but DC area football fan to be like, don't down talk the Redskins, who are universally laughed at. The only and me as a Redskins fan, I have to admit, the only team worse than us,
he's in the DMV.
Treated worse than us is Cleveland. The Browns, we haven't experienced the indignity of having a winless season. I can at least say that, right? So, but everything else is just every year it's drama. Yeah. I can't do it. I'm gonna start crying on air.
OBJ Don is a fellow resident of the DMV.
Man, we gotta get together. Happy hour, man.
Yeah, happy hour.
Have the green turtle somewhere or something.
Wait, not to say the green turtle. That's how I know you from the DMV, man. Yeah, hey, I'm not gonna lie. We got a green turtle like 5 minutes from my house. So I live in Maryland, so we got one.
Oh, we probably have to explain this. Some guys like DMV. DMV means it's not Department of Motor Vehicles, but it's DC, Maryland, and Virginia.
Yeah.
So, people.
I'm gonna leave because this shit is boring.
Oh, okay.
By the way, Enrique, I was kidding when I said I don't know who Slow-Mo is.
You were kidding or you weren't kidding?
I was.
Oh, I thought you were being serious. You're like,
Dude,
who?
he's in my Discord.
Wait a minute. I told Slow-Mo, I was like, I told Luca that you were going to come on, and she said, who? And he's like, what?
I mean,
Dude,
I'm
like,
only on her panel. I
he's
mean,
on the he's a member of Scumcast.
I know. That's what I'm saying. I couldn't believe that.
Oh my god, Enrique.
Look, I'm a little slow sometimes, right?
We're not doing this. Not today.
Not tonight. Not like this.
Not like this. Not like this.
Well, check this out. Look, I just found out that Slow-Mo and I live in the DMV. We're neighbors.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, yeah. So it's great. And OBJ to Don's in the DMV. It looks like HDK2 is also in the DMV.
wow,
Do that though.
man, we all gotta get together. You know, do
Yeah, we gotta get
something.
together, man. We gotta meet up with Green Turtle or something, man.
Yep. First
Yeah.
round is on Enrique.
You guys can bond about being fathers and you're who are old.
Exactly.
You know, you had to throw the old in there. You know, I don't feel old. And
But like, okay.
Luca, let me tell you something. Before you just turned 25, right?
Mm-hmm.
Before you know it, you will be 41. I promise you this.
yeah,
In a blink of an eye.
time is going to fly.
Time will fly. I remember when I was your age, I was out living it up, and now I'm stuck at home.
Yeah, I just stay at home.
You know, so it will go by fast.
HTK 360 he says I'm in the V, which I
What
know
is it?
exactly how he's taking that.
I'm
which
in the V.
is,
What does
I
that
give
mean?
a thumbs up, 2 thumbs up actually.
I'm in the V. What is that? This is a PG show. You know, I don't know what HCK is talking about. Anyhow, so that's enough of the DMV and the Redskins who are terrible.
Yes, very terrible.
Yeah, you know what, man? We should do you know what we should do? We should do a football podcast on the Redskins, dude. I have the name and everything already. Because I thought about doing it last year.
I could go on for 6 hours.
Oh, we got
ranting about the Redskins.
Slow-Mo. We should create a channel for this, man.
Yo, we are cursed. They are a cursed team.
No, they're not. Look, we have championships, man.
Champion. I was 11 the last time we won a championship. I remember it vaguely.
I was 15, man.
It was we drafted RG3, big bust. I mean, we got Dan Snyder. Every year is a controversy. It's just like, dude, can I just get 1 year where we make the playoffs? Everything's normal. Am I ever going to win experience a championship with a parade again?
Oh my God! Eric in the live chat says the V is one of the warmest places to visit. Luca, what is Luca? Luca, you're a mod now.
Mm-hmm.
Are you supposed to be modding the chat?
The mod, the chat's out of control, Luca.
Yeah,
listen. I don't know.
But look, Eric is one of your mods, and he said
yeah, Eric is actually a mod. So I don't. Can a mod a mod?
No, we can't.
Okay. Anyhow, so we're gonna stop talking about football because this is a gaming podcast.
Of course.
And we're here to talk about video games. So so big news tonight, Xbox related. So off the heels of Ryan McCaffrey's tweet to Xbox fans saying that, or Phil Spencer specifically saying that they are dying to have a game like God of War, and Phil saying, hey, first party takes time, yada yada yada. Matt Booty, who has the best name in the gaming industry, in my opinion, Booty. He's head of Microsoft Studios, for those of you guys who didn't know. Announced that Microsoft Studios has just hired Darrell Gallagher. So, do you guys know who Darrell Gallagher is? Slow-Mo, Luca, do you guys know who this guy is?
No.
I didn't know who he was until I Googled him earlier once I saw the tweets that he was hired.
Yeah.
Now I feel like I'm an expert.
Yeah, right. Yeah, once you read his bio, you're like, oh, okay, he's been there. Okay, he's actually the I can't even talk. Former head of Crystal Dynamics, and he was there for a little while. But he's also been at he was heading up the studio Crystal Dynamics since 2013, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
and he's also worked at Rockstar. Everyone knows who Rockstar is. Sony, HQ, and Activision. And so, yeah, this is a pretty big, I think, addition to to the Microsoft team. Some people are speculating that maybe this means that Microsoft will be opening a new studio, new first-party studio, which has been one of their criticisms more recently. That they need to invest in first-party and not just rely on their tentpole titles of Gears and Halo and what's the other one?
Forza.
Thank you, Forza. And
Enrique, I'll be right back.
Okay. Phil Spencer said he's always admired the work and the way he's led his teams, and he's happy to have him joining the team. So, yeah, this is I think this is pretty big news. I mean, anytime you pick up somebody with this particular background and who's had experience heading up a big AAA studio, again, he was there heading up Crystal Dynamics in 2013 when Rise of the Tomb Raider kind of went through that reboot and sort of took on more of a, I guess we could probably say more of a mature tone, right?
Yeah, yeah. And that game really kind of took off at a time. I really love the fact that they took a kind of defunct franchise and did a complete reboot. And they didn't like reinvent the wheel, but what they did do was take a gameplay style, Uncharted, and then do it better. And that's something that Xbox really needs.
Whoa. I don't know about that, Slow-Mo.
Wait, hold on. You don't think Tomb Raider and Rise of the Tomb Raider was better than Uncharted?
Uncharted 4? Nah.
But they came. Well, okay, all right. So,
I mean, there were certain aspects of the game that were better. I think, man, I don't want to go down this rabbit hole, man, because this could be like a 20-minute or 30-minute conversation. Wait, why don't we do this? Why don't we throw this out to the live chat and see what they think?
Okay, yeah, sure. Chat. What series has been better? The last two Tomb Raider games or the Uncharted series?
Yeah, we'll see. Because
now I'm going to say, I'm going to say the Tomb Raider games because both of them have been excellent.
No, I'm not disputing that. They both have been great games. So that's not.
I would even go as far as saying the Tomb Raider series has kind of forced gosh, why am I blanking?
Naughty Dog?
Name? Yeah, Naughty Dog to step their game up with Uncharted 4. The first one, because I think Rise came out after Uncharted 4, right? Or maybe they came out at the same time.
What are you talking about?
Remember?
I think no. The first one. The first one, no. I think shit. I don't remember now. I don't know, man.
Either way.
The first what?
The
first what?
No,
we're talking about
Uncharted 4 came out before or after Rise of the Tomb Raider.
Rise of the Tomb Raider came out in 2015, and Uncharted 4 came out in 2016.
Thank you.
Oh, there you go. Thank you, Luca.
Okay. So I'm going to say Crystal Dynamics forced Naughty Dog to step their game up with Uncharted 4. Uncharted 1 has not aged well. Have any of you guys played it lately? It's not that great. I mean, you'd be frustrated. Really, really frustrated with it. Uncharted 2, in my eyes, is probably right there. I think it's probably neck and neck with Uncharted 4. Uncharted 3, I thought was a step back. And the reason why I'm going to say the last two Tomb Raider games are the better of this comparison is that they don't have any step backs. Rise of the Tomb Raider was just better than the Tomb Raider reboot. And the Tomb Raider reboot's good.
All right. Well, like I said, I'm not gonna. we're not gonna dive down to this topic too much, man, because we could probably go.
Okay. I know.
Let's agree to disagree, sir.
Got it.
So, but you were saying, man, he was heading up Crystal Dynamics during this time.
Yeah, and I think that what he did with Crystal Dynamics and with the Tomb Raider brand is something that really needs to be done with Microsoft and their properties. Microsoft actually has a lot of IP that's just not being used, and so
sorry to interrupt, but do you think them adding this guy and it seems like they're building their team right for first party?
Yeah.
Do you think it's it adds credence to the idea that most of their games won't be ready until next gen?
Yes.
Yeah. I agree with that. I've been saying that for a couple of months now. I've been saying that since January, back when all the stuff leaked out about.
Where were you saying it, sir?
Well, I mean, I was saying it to myself.
To yourself.
Wait, was you? Wait, weren't you part of the Scumcast back in January too?
I mean, look,
my podcast didn't even start till like
February,
March or February or something. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Well, look, I've been saying it for a while. No one has been hearing me, but I've been saying it. Okay, but all I'm saying is that as soon as I saw that the stuff come out about Perfect Dark was getting a new game, and they were doing another Fable, and that the team that does Forza Horizon was going to do the new Fable, I'm like, that's great, that's awesome. These games aren't coming out until the Xbox 2 is back out in 2020. There's no way these games are coming out anytime soon. I mean, it's great for the future, but right now, I mean, it's not really going to deal with the first party drought that they got right now. But I'm glad they're investing in the future, and they realize the error of their ways, and they're trying to correct that.
Yeah. Do you think that this and whatever studio, whatever it's going to be called, whatever he heads up, do you think that this is going to be something that maybe they bring him in to build a new IP, or are they going to go back into their playbook and maybe resurrect another IP that we haven't seen from them in a long time? Luca, what do you think?
Honestly, they need more studios to build new IPs, so they're probably going to go back into their playbook.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. I think they go back to their playbook. Do you think the same? You think Slow-Mo? Do you think they're going to go back to their playbook too, or you think maybe they take a chance and who knows, maybe make a new IP?
I hope they do both. I think they probably will. In the short term, try to revive some of their, old defunct IPs, or just, go back to the playbook. But I would love for them to do both. Bring back some of these other games that, like Crimson Skies, or what's another one? Alan Wake. Bring back some of these other games, but then also make some new IP as well. Like people keep asking if Microsoft will go to Marvel and try to get another hero, Marvel superhero, the Avengers or something, to kind of counter Sony and Spider-Man. I'm like, well, make your own. You can do that. Yeah, just create your own heroes. Create your own IP.
We already have it here. We have Master Chief.
Yeah, we've had Master Chief for 2 decades now. I mean, I love the Chief, but let's do something different too. Because we're gonna get with Halo. It's gonna be a first person shooter. They're not going to deviate too much from the program.
Yeah.
And there are a segment of people who are first person shooter fans, but they just still they think Halo's old.
Hey, OBJ Dodon says a Punisher game would be lit for Xbox.
Oh hell yeah!
Sorry, can you say that again?
OBJ Dodon.
Oh, okay. I'm just making sure.
Lucas got jokes. Remember, I couldn't say that for like weeks.
Yeah, I mean, Punisher, Black Panther. Man, I would if they announced a Black Panther game, I'm pre-ordering immediately. I haven't seen anything. Just if they just show up at E3 and say, "Hey, we're making a Black Panther game,"
give me a Punisher game. That's the kind of game that I would like to see.
Yeah, and a Punisher game would be not easy to do, but it would make a lot of sense because it's guns everywhere, and he just slaughters people. It would be perfect. Be a perfect game.
Yeah, no, I agree, man. There's some other games that they could go back to. Mech Assault. They could always resurrect Blinks, the Time Sweeper. Oh, Jesus.
I thought I heard that they might be coming out with a Mech Assault. That might be something they may show at E3. I heard
that's been a long time now.
Yeah, and I heard another rumor that they were going to bring back Alan Wake. That's why I thought about Alan Wake.
But that's Remedy's game, though. Doesn't Remedy owns the rights to that game, right?
No idea.
Yeah, because they can't. I mean, that's a game. So instead of Quantum Break, which I did not like, did you guys play Quantum Break?
Yeah. I haven't finished it. I stopped. That's what we were talking about before about how another game comes out, then you start playing that game, and then you say, I'm gonna come back to this game. Yeah, Quantum Break is one of those other games where I was supposed to come back to, and I still haven't yet. I'm like halfway through it. I like the gameplay. I like the freezing time and all the different, like, the ingenuity they came up with those mechanics. I love that part of Quantum Break. I thought the acting was good. I didn't like the long pauses in gameplay where you're watching like a full episode, live action episode, like right in the middle of the game. I was confused, like, when is this going to end? Can I play again? So like I thought that was a mistake, but I think Quantum Break gets a bad rap. I thought it was better than people.
I don't know, man. It felt like, to me, it felt like a last gen game. Like, it felt like it was made for the 360.
Ooh.
Yeah, and the last, did you know?
You're just the pony, Enrique.
So I have an announcement. I've decided to rename BRAP to the Pony Podcast, and yeah, we're gonna go full on Sony here.
Actually, his real announcement is that he will be quitting BRAP and joining Scumcast.
yeah, I heard that too, Luca. I heard that same thing. I think, in fact, when we were working before we got on, he said, I can't wait to join Scumcast. He was just gushing. It was awesome.
Yeah, Luca, you missed it. I was in tears. I was like, I'm ready to leave BRAP and move on to Scumcast.
This makes a lot of sense. I keep scouting you, and
yeah. So Eddie, it wasn't and I don't want to ruin it for anyone who hasn't finished the final boss battle in Quantum Break, but it's not as well done as it could have been. So I'll just leave it at that. But God, Alan Wake 2, I mean, that's a game that everyone, I think most everyone who's played Alan Wake would agree that Alan Wake 2 is a game that Remedy should have made. And if Microsoft can somehow pull that off again, or somehow get that game, I mean, that would be talk about that aha moment, like at an E3, or Nels Cody says no reload animation in QB. That would be like one of those aha moments for fans. I mean, that would be like one of those big announcements that Microsoft would what's the word I'm looking for? Anyhow, it would just be huge. It'd be huge. It'd be big for the fans.
It would shock the fans.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It would send.
It would bring some hype, some pop. That's what you want, because Sony has won a lot of E3s with hype and pop.
Yeah.
Like No Man's Sky. At one point in time, No Man's Sky was the game of the conference. Think about that.
Yeah, when they
just pure hype.
It was all hype when they said quintillion planets. People were like, "Oh my god, quintillion planets!" And people were like losing their shit. I'm like, "What?"
Like, yeah, this looks boring. When I saw it, I was like, "This looks boring as hell." Like, what am I supposed to be doing?
Yeah, I never had any interest in No Man's Sky. I took one look at it. I was like, what's the story? Like, what are we doing? I was skeptical of it from the start, and
there was no story. Yeah,
it's a lot of bombs win E3. No Man's Sky. I remember at one point Evolve won E3. It was just all people kept talking about was Evolve, and then you think about it, like, and then companies started actually changing franchises and games to be like Evolve.
Stupid, right?
So dumb. I mean, it's not even a proven formula. It's not even a proven thing yet. At least Battle Royale now is proven. Epic turned Fortnite into a runaway success off a proven formula. You got Microsoft taking Fable, a proven not first person, but single player RPG, and then trying to make it into Evolve. And then
they wanted games as a service for Fable.
Yeah, and then Evolve bombs, and it's just like, whoops.
Yeah,
yes, that was a mistake and a waste of money.
Yeah.
I mean, I look at Microsoft, and like someone mentioned that Remedy owns the Alan Wake IP.
Yeah, they do.
So like, Microsoft has to start doing some things that Sony does. Like Sony has control over
So
their
are you
IP.
saying that Xbox should just be PlayStation?
No, no, not please, no.
That Luca, it sounds like that's what he's trying to say.
I think that's what he's saying.
Not at
Because
all.
PlayStation already has something called PlayStation. So if you want something like PlayStation, get a PlayStation. I mean, I know you have a PlayStation, but still.
Yeah. Look, I'm not trying to say.
What are you trying to say, Slow-Mo? What are you trying to say?
And Slow-Mo, if you're not happy with your Xbox,
sell your Xbox.
Stop whining and sell it.
Here we go. Oh, this is all I see on Twitter. If you're not happy,
watching on Scumcat.
This is all I see on Twitter all day long. All I'm saying is that if your competition is doing something that's successful and they can continue to have a consistent roll of IP coming out every single year, and they can control when that IP comes out, and you not be like, oh, well, you're relying on second party IP, second party games instead of first party games, where you can tell the company, not necessarily, look, I'm telling you what to make, but you can make whatever you want, but also please make this because this is what we need. Then like that's something Microsoft does not have the ability to do right now. So I'm glad, like, to go back to Darrell Gallagher, that they're bringing someone in who's had success at this. I actually just was looking at his LinkedIn account. Dude was he worked for Rockstar.
Yeah,
like, man,
his LinkedIn account.
Yeah, why not?
Man,
it's public information. I'm gonna look the guy up. I'm not stalking him yet, but but I'm just like he was a lead artist for Rockstar. He worked at THQ.
Well, lead artist for Crystal Dynamics for a little bit, I think too. I think that's where he started out prior to taking over the studio, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I mean the guy's resume is on point, and if anyone can bring a different voice into the Microsoft leadership team, that's the kind of guy you want to be voicing his opinions and kind of directing where things are going for the future. It's a good thing for Xbox fans. They should be happy that this is happening.
Yeah, no, I agree. I'm going to make a bold prediction. I'm going to say we'll learn more about his role at E3, and they will announce a studio with a new game. Whether it's a new IP or not, I don't think it's going to be a new IP. I think it's going to be something from their playbook, because I don't see Microsoft taking chances like that just yet on big AAA IPs. I should say new AAA IPs. I could see them going back to something that's kind of a proven commodity or already has some kind of brand recognition to it. But I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that we see him come out on stage at E3. He announces a new studio and whatever game he's working on, and that's it. What do you guys think? You think he'll be at E3, have some kind of stage presence?
I think that we should wait and see, because I don't know. Who knows what Xbox can do? I think people should temper their expectations a bit and not get all of these. Don't get your hopes up, because you might be disappointed. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. Like just be mindful of that stuff.
Lucas deflating everyone's excitement.
Listen, I just don't want you guys to get like bummed if like E3 comes and they don't announce shit, I'm not saying that's gonna happen, but I'm just saying you just gotta be mindful of that stuff. To keep in mind, like every year it's always wait till E3, right? Like I've only been in the community for a year and I already know that's a thing. So it was like wait for E3, wait for Gamescom, wait for Comic-Con, and it was like, huh? So it's like, I don't know. I don't know.
No,
we'll see how it goes, man.
No, I agree with you, Luca. I mean, I'm just speculating. I mean, I'm actually
Enrique, I want you to go look at your Twitter not your DMs, your mentions right now.
What about my mentions?
Go look at your mentions right now.
Why should I look at my mentions?
Go look at your mentions.
I don't want to look at my mentions.
Go look at them.
All right. So so hold on a sec here. See, anyhow, I'm just speculating. But no, I agree with you though, Luca. Like you're right. Like we should kind of we should temper. Yeah, Luca, you're crazy. Hey, is that the new Sea of Thieves DLC?
You're wrong for that, man. You're wrong for that.
Well, I saw the banana. I was like, oh, it's terrible. No, but I mean, Luke is right. I mean, and you know, it's so funny because I just heard you say, you know, I'm fairly new to the community. But even you've noticed that it's like always wait till like the next con, like Gamescom, Comic Con, you know, E3.
Yeah.
So no, you're right. I mean, B Money said the live chat. What if he's the executive producer of Fable? I mean, yeah. I mean, you're right, B. I mean, you know, given his experience, yeah, why not? And given how important that franchise is for Microsoft, despite the
So
debacle.
important that they closed down the studio, right?
Yeah, well, yeah. Well, I mean,
this is Luca rain on everyone's parade day. My bad.
I mean, that's a good point. You're like, because you're right. I mean, if it was so important, why do they close down the studio? I mean, that was probably more of more budgetary, and probably just them feeling like, hey, you know what, we own the franchise. We need a new, fresh set of eyes. I don't know. Who knows?
I got you, man.
Yeah, but no, I mean, you're right. I mean, it's yeah.
I hope that E3 is great, and I hope that Xbox announces that they have games in the works. I don't think it is beneficial anymore for Phil to not announce new IPs or like new big single player AAA games, just because of the fact that it's not working for their fan base. Like the hardcore is skeptical. There are people who are just like, you know, why don't we have this, and why are things like this? And I understand why he didn't want to announce games early anymore, because of, you know, look at Crackdown and look at Sea of Thieves and look at Scalebound, like all of that stuff, right? Like especially the backlash from Scalebound being canceled and Crackdown 3 being delayed, like that shit was crazy, you know? So he's probably like, I'm not announcing shit till these games are ready. So I don't know. Like, I just think that he needs to like, think about it like this, right? Nintendo just showed a little, like a title screen for a new Metroid game. People lost their shit. They were like, Nintendo won E3, right? So they need to show us like something.
They could show us like Microsoft, new AAA IP, not Halo or Gears, and people will lose their minds.
Yeah. And that's just what people want, you know?
But, you know, doesn't the suggestion that because of Scalebound and because of Fable and delaying Crackdown, that they have been keeping everything close to the vest, doesn't that suggest that they actually have a boatload of games to show us at E3? I'm not saying that is what's going to happen, but if they've been working on games, but they just haven't been showing us because they don't want.
With what studios?
I don't know. I'm just saying. I'm kind of.
I get where you're coming from, but
yeah, I'm just kind of debunking the whole thought that like it's because of the backlash that they haven't said anything. Like,
I definitely think it's because of the backlash, dude. Like I don't know if you were around last year when Scalebound was canceled. Like, were you around in the community for that?
I wasn't in this community for it.
No, that shit, it was bad.
Yeah, it was bad.
It was bad. Were you around for Crackdown 3 being delayed?
Nah.
Okay, so you're speaking as someone who hasn't seen how fucking nuts this community can get when it comes to certain things. Like, people lost their shit. It was bad, dude. And I had only been in the community for like 2 months, and I was like, what the fuck is this?
Luke, I wish you would have had like your Scumcast podcast.
Oh man, that would have been awesome.
That would have been great.
Look. I mean, so someone's like, I'm out here hoping and wishing. I'm not really hoping and wishing. All I'm saying is that I don't know what people expect from Microsoft on April 16th. I know that we want what we would like to see at E3 in June, but people are like, they gotta do something. They gotta do something. Every single day on Twitter, it's like, y'all gotta do something. Y'all gotta do something. So you got Phil Spencer like, okay, we're gonna do something. We're working on that. And then tomorrow is, y'all gotta do something. Y'all gotta do something. I'm like, yo, chill. The horse is dead. He's a corpse. He is decomposing. Like the horse has been dead. You have made your point. They have heard you. chill the fuck out and wait until E3. And if it at E3, if it's trash, and I'll be the first one going in on Microsoft. I will be in the front of the line. Hell yeah. I'm gonna be in the front of the line with a pitchfork and a stake and a torch, and I'm like, stone them, burnt whatever, like whatever everyone else is doing, because they didn't deliver. But until then, what else are they going to say? We're working on that. That's all they can say right now. I mean, no one is really dropping, new information until then. They save it all for E3. We already know that. So let's just chill out and enjoy games, man. It's games to play.
Yeah, you know what? I'm look, I've seen the show. I've seen this movie play out many times, and I'm not expecting a lot from E3 for them. just not doing it. And if they make some big announcements, hey, all the better,
Yeah. Villains say I'm going full pony after E3. Hey, maybe.
You might.
I just might.
He's almost been trying to deny the fact that he's an Xbot in my Discord. He's just been going heavy for PlayStation lately, trying to deny it. I'm like, it's okay. You don't have to overcompensate. It's all right.
Oh my gosh. Luca. I know that you may feel like I'm an Xbot just because at the very few times that you can actually see the screen from whenever you can finally, climb up into your chair and see the screen directly because you're so small, that those times
climb up in your chair.
Because those times I may have been defending Microsoft. You miss all the times when I'm like, these Xbots are crazy. Sony is kicking their ass.
I'm just all
that other stuff. It's fine.
Good.
Hey, let me ask you guys something real quick. I'm kind of want to throw a curveball because I saw someone engage you on Twitter saying Persona 5 is trash.
What?
At least Halo and Gears are like esports games. They have longevity or something. So let me, guys. I've seen this narrative quite a bit more recently, that somehow multiplayer games are 10 times better than single player games because single player it's only like 5 hours long, and then once you're done playing it, you're done. You'll never go back to it. Where multiplayer, you can play hours upon hours and hours and play with your friends.
I'd rather play a impactful 10-hour single player game than a mindless multiplayer game.
So are you saying that intelligence has something to do with whether or not someone enjoys a single player game or not?
Oh, I mean, I don't know where you got that from. That guy is my friend, by the way, so.
I'm not saying that you're. I'm just asking the question.
What are you trying to ask me, Enrique?
That
I think that certain single player games take. They have what's the word? Heavy, deep, insightful, impactful content in it. However, just because a game is single player doesn't mean there's a lack of content. Just take a look at The Witcher 3. Take a look at Persona 5, which I beat Persona 5 in 114 hours, went through that shit again, had 200 plus hours. Like, just because you play a single player game, I don't like the idea that single player games are just one and done, because they're not for me. I play Dragon Age Inquisition 3 times, Dragon Age 2 3 times, Dragon Age Origins once, because I'm not going back to Dragon Age Origins.
I agree with Luca. Persona 5 has New Game Plus. That's an RPG with New Game Plus. It's actually impossible to basically do everything in the first run through. So you actually have to, I mean, that's a great gameplay design to make sure people go back and see things they didn't see before, and then you kind of understand the little things a little bit better, so you start looking for things that you didn't look for before. Luca brought up Dragon Age. BioWare games have multiple endings. There's multiple reasons to go back and play through them again. The way I play through a BioWare game is I have my Paragon, my nice guy playthrough. I have my evil supervillain playthrough. That supervillain in the chat, that guy's
that guy's a bum.
That guy's a bum, yo. He's terrible. But like a real supervillain.
Why is supervillain in the chat a bum?
Let me tell you something about supervillain, right? Supervillain is the type of guy who will come. We are having like a deep, insightful conversation about something serious. He'll come out and be like, "Hey, yo, Luca, you a bum? Sit down." And then he would leave for 6 hours and just not come back. And it's like, huh? What? He's the type of guy who is a huge fan of the Persona series. He played through all of them, yet will come into the chat and say Persona 5 is trash. Like, he's that kind of guy, right? Also, he's the type of guy who talks about how he's the Mad Titan and how he's so amazing at Destiny when he is a bum. He garbage.
What's his KDR, like 0.05?
It was never over like 0.75. Like my back still hurts from carrying him on Saturday. So.
Oh wow. That's fired.
Yo, he just said Dragon Age 2 is trash. We're not doing this, villain. We are not doing this.
Yeah.
So all I'm saying is single player games, they have replayability just because it's different than multiplayer games, just because it's not playing with your friends. And like all these games have their space and their time in their arena, but you don't need to minimize single player games to boost up multiplayer games or boost up first person shooters. It's not necessary.
Yeah, and like, you know, at the end of the day, what you find impactful and meaningful when it comes to gaming, it depends on the kind of person you are. There are plenty of people who just enjoy PvP, who enjoy multiplayer games, who enjoy shooters, like that kind of thing. And like, you know, they attempt to lessen the impact of certain things. Like I've had like heavy PvP people say to me, well, what's so hard about Dark Souls? You can just memorize the patterns. It doesn't sound as difficult. At least I'm going against actual people. And I'm like, play Dark Souls then. Yeah.
Actually, if you knew what you're talking about, you know that you wouldn't be able to necessarily memorize the pattern.
Exactly. So it's like, yeah, go play. If it's so easy, go play Dark Souls. The difference between me and people like that is that I never say, I never try to minimize or like act like something is lesser. You know, I don't say, unless it's, listen, we're not doing this. I don't say that multiplayer games are trash or like they suck or they're boring or anything like that. I just don't say anything about it because it's like, personally, I prefer single player games. I'm not very good at multiplayers, but I was playing Destiny 2 Crucible with Slow-Mo and the guys on Saturday, and I had fun. You know, like it was a good time. I'm not gonna act like like I kind of get the feeling, like I get it. You know, I get why people play those games. It's like the rush of beating down your enemy. You know, that's cool.
Let me ask
you know, personally, I would rather have a story where I can get invested in the characters and understand them and feel something than just mindlessly shoot.
Well, you know, it's funny that you mentioned that because, like I play both. I play, you know, early like Xbox days, like when I was beta testing Xbox Live, I was on an Xbox Live clan, and we used to play Unreal Championship. Then we played Return of Castle Wolfenstein. Then we played Mech Assault. And then we started getting to Halo 2. And yeah, I mean, it's, you know, those games are fun. It's fun playing those games with your friends, but to me, it's not the same. It doesn't have the same impact as, like, I'm playing Bloodborne right now. And like, I've talked about this a million times already now. Bloodborne is probably one of the best games I've played this console gen. And I'm walking around like old Yarnum, and I'm like, what happened here? Like, it's such an interesting set piece. Like what happened? Why is it so dark here? You know, and it pushes me to like want to explore more, to want to play the game more, to want to figure out what happened here. You know, and you don't get that impact from multiplayer games. And not to knock multiplayer games. Like, to each his own. If you look, if Call of Duty, you know, multiplayer, capture the flag, you know, get your juices going. More power to you. I'm not going to knock that at all. You know, but I also don't buy into this narrative of, oh, well, single player games are trash because you can't play them again. To me, that's just stupid. That's just stupid because there's definitely an impact that lasts longer, or that you carry on with you after you complete the game. I mean, there's so many games that I go back to on some of the old consoles from the PlayStation 2 days. I mean, I think of games like Onimusha, Devil May Cry. You know, I think of games like Final Fantasy VII, Metal Gear Solid. I mean, those games had such a profound impact on me that I go back to those games and think, damn, like those are some of the best games I've ever played.
I agree. I agree so much. Like games that have an amazing story, or just a story that really impacted you at a certain time in your life.
Yeah.
Like when I played Final Fantasy VII, and I play it back now. I played it on my iPad again, and I'm looking at some of the dialogue like, ugh. It's a little
He said,
like a little juvenile, and like, but you know, I played it back while I was in high school. I was in 9th grade, and I loved it. And it's nostalgia. There's nothing wrong with nostalgia. I think people lately have been, you know, really coming down on, you know, backwards compatibility, old games, rematch. You know, one side's like, you know, why are you playing that old game? Other side's like, why are you caring about that remaster? But there's a reason why you care about it, because it's an awesome, excellent game. It's a classic. And there's nothing wrong with going through a classic again. This is not a substitute for new games, but you know, at those times in between, you're playing all these new exclusives. There's nothing wrong with going back and playing the Jade Empire, playing the Knights of the Old Republic. Those games are timeless classics as far as I'm concerned. I look at it like music. So you know, I hate the music of today. I'll go back to the 90s hip hop, 90s R&B all day long. And that stuff is timeless to me. You know, I'll go back to the 80s. You know, it's entertainment, and great music is like great video games is like great music. It's not going to age. So
that's true with any other art form. I mean, video games are a form of art and expression. And that's like, you just hit the nail on the head. I mean, that's true with every movie, television series, you know, music, pornography. I mean, anything like that. So
great old school porn.
Yeah.
Man, this chick here, man, she old as dirt now, but back in the day, let me show you.
Yes, she's backwards compatible.
Okay, I'm sorry.
All right, Luca, you're awfully quiet over there. What's going on? Oh, she's got her mic muted.
Yeah, I was just letting you guys have it, honestly.
Luca's like, yeah, these guys, they need to shut up.
I'm thinking about drinking right now, to be perfectly honest, so I can, you know. No, I'm just fucking around. Listen, yeah, think about games like, I mean, I didn't beat The Last of Us, but think about games like The Last of Us, which had such a profound impact on so many people. You know, I saw the first 10 minutes and that got to me. You know what I mean?
Yes.
That made me feel something.
Luca, how about that one scene? You know what I'm talking about. In the beginning of The Last of Us.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah. That
opening thing hooked me. It hooked me. Like,
yeah, it's stuff like that. And then you'll take so many things that happened in like The Witcher 3 made me feel like I was Geralt, and like Ciri was my kid and I was protecting her. I felt like I was that character because there were so many impactful moments. Like that game was amazing. But it is amazing.
But you know what's so like the genius behind that is that it made Geralt vulnerable. Like here's this guy who's a Witcher. He's like a hunter. He's like a beast hunter, basically, more or less, right? Or a bounty hunter. And you know, he kills beasts for bounties. You know, he sleeps with a lot of women. You know, he's genetically mutated or whatever. And he has this like soft side to him. You know, and when I saw that, like with Ciri, I was like, wow, like that's just, you know, like I'm a dad, right? And it just had such a profound impact for me. So
yeah, I mean, even, you know, not as a parent or anything, I just, you know, I felt something. And it was so great because for Geralt's character, right, Witchers are not supposed to have emotions. Like the potions that they take, they're supposed to strip them of all feeling, right?
Yeah.
But Geralt, he you know, he loves Yennefer, he loves Triss, and he loves Ciri. You know?
Them all.
Like, yeah, I mean, my Geralt was very faithful to who he was dating. All right, that's all I got to say.
My Geralt was not. My girl was not. Surprise, surprise.
Like, yeah, no, he was faithful at first to Yen, but I don't actually like Yen very much, to be perfectly honest. As Geralt's like love interest, but
I don't think anyone likes Yen as his love interest, really.
Yeah, but people don't like Triss either. But I love Triss. I love Triss.
I like Triss. Yeah,
like I will choose Triss every time.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, it's my girl.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just don't think that. Honestly, at the end of the day, it's all opinion. So just because you say a game is trash doesn't mean the game's actually trash. It's just like, okay, whatever. You know?
It's garbage.
Garbage.
Garbage. Yeah, well, that's an interesting discussion. I just so basically, anyone who just joined the live chat, Luca basically said that multiplayer games are for people with low IQs and single player. I'm just kidding. She didn't say that.
Yeah. Okay.
No.
Are we playing some Destiny 2 Crucible after this, sir?
Maybe, perhaps. You know what? I got to download Destiny again.
Oh my God! Never mind.
Oh, that's like 50 gigs. So that's not yeah, you got 50 gigs
First
of it.
Enrique doesn't show up on my shows.
What? What are you talking?
No. Listen, I asked him to come onto my podcast. He's like, I can't today, Luca. And then like 2 hours later, I see him doing a live stream ranting about something. I'm like, what? What?
Okay, it wasn't 2 hours later. It was like 7 hours later. she did DM me, Slow-Mo. She's like, oh, so you can rant, but you can't do my podcast. I was like, what? Oh my goodness.
I like to mess with people, bro. It's fun.
Neo Mental says get Fios. I actually do have Fios. It's still gonna take a long time, buddy. 50
50 gigs is not a game. Yeah, that's a lot.
No, seriously, you know what? I would love to play some Crucible. Like I love Crucible. Crucible is a lot of fun. He was actually pretty good at Crucible's B Money 101. He's actually pretty good.
Well, I need people to carry me, so
yeah. Hey, B Money. If you're in the live chat, man, you and Lucas should meet up, man. Play some Crucible.
We know it's funny because every time anyone mentions Destiny, people immediately go, "Destiny's trash," and like, look, I'm probably
trash.
Yeah, I'm probably one of the biggest Bungie / Activision haters right now because I really hate. Excuse me. I really hate when a company lies to the gamers, which is what Bungie did back with Destiny 2 with the experience thing.
Yeah,
but I have to call it even. I have to be honest. Bungie is still awesome at gunplay. They're awesome at first-person shooters. It's ingrained in them. They know what they're doing. I noticed the difference between Bungie's Halo games and the 343 Halo games. Like the difference in the gunplay. It's not the same. It's so not the same. So Destiny 2 Crucible, now that they made some changes, you know, it's still not great. It's not at the level of Destiny 1, but it's fun to play. Like you even got Luca playing it. Luca don't play multiplayer games, and she was talking trash to people and having fun. It was crazy. I was like, who is this person? But I mean, that's good gameplay, you know, and it's unfortunate that the PvE side of Destiny is lacking
big time,
but you know, but it's
what'd you say? It's lacking like the Kraken?
Yeah.
Oh boy.
But it's just it's you have to call it the way it is. It's still solid gameplay. You can't just say, well, you know, they lied to us, so everything is trash. Everything's not trash. It's still got a solid foundation. I'm not spending no more money on Bungie.
No, I'm not either.
But you know, I don't mind, you know, popping in the game and, you know, having fun with some friends.
As someone who put 8 days in Destiny 2, I can say that it is trash.
It's garbage.
I mean, no, it's fine. It's just the end game is just really lacking, and
there's an end game.
That's the point. Like, and the DLC, which I didn't pay for. Shout out to King Ram for getting that for me. But the DLC is fucking trash. Like, it was awful. Like, it was
pretty bad.
Awful. I was like, what is this? So yeah, I mean, we'll see. We'll see if they. I mean, I don't know if there's anything they can do to get me to come back.
It was sad too because they wasted so much of that Destiny lore I mean, there's an opportunity for them. I mean, Cyrus goes back to the first Destiny and that lore. Now the War Machine, that's from Destiny 1. I mean, it's all that Destiny lore, and they blew it. It's like I hope they get this DLC right, but I don't know. I just have much faith. Big shout out to B Money 101 says Destiny 2 still the best shooting mechanics in any game.
Facts.
I can't. Every time I go back to PvP, I'm like, yep, still the best. I mean, you can't. The gunplay is so good, so good.
Yeah, it's like riding a bike. Like you all you need is like one match to really get back into it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You're right.
Yeah, it was. I'm not going to like. I know they're trying to get people back to playing the game again. I'm done. I'm done because they lied. As far as buying more DLC expansions, all that other stuff, I'm done. But I'll still play the game for Crucible because that's just pure fun.
Yeah, yeah. No, I'm definitely down, guys. If you guys are on, I mean, I'll hop on. I'm definitely down for that.
Cool.
Get some PvP. Yeah.
You can have villain spots.
We have a lot of fun oh man, not like this. We have a lot of fun in the Discord.
Yeah, you know what? I'll say that you guys have a good Discord. Like I was work today, so I couldn't really like talk too much. But from what I saw, it was pretty good.
Yeah, we like to stay engaged. We like to talk. My Discord's popping on like some people whose name starts with a B and is a color, but okay.
A B is a color? What? I have no idea who you're talking about, but okay.
I'm not gonna say.
I know who you're talking about now.
Yeah. But hey, we have fun at Discord. We're always like discussing games, discussing whatever. We get into debates about like all kinds of stuff. That's like completely non-gaming. I do like that we're starting to like play now because there's a lot of frauds out here in the community that talk about games, but they don't play none. But we play. We play games.
What? I've noticed about you guys too. There's definitely like this sense of like I can tell you guys are genuine. I get that. No, I'm being serious. Like because I know people in the podcast world that are not genuine individuals that talk shit behind your back for whatever reason.
You don't fucking say, huh? Like I literally just did a video about that a few days ago.
Yeah. No, I saw that. Yeah, and it's just dumb. It's like, come on, people. Like, you guys are fucking adults. It's podcasting. It's not that serious.
It's crazy because it's like I mean, I guess I've already just learned this lesson, but no matter where you go or what you're a part of, there will always be those negative, hateful people that will pretend to be cool if you want to talk shit about you behind your back, which is so dumb to me. It's like, really? Like, I was on the phone with one of my friends and I was telling him, I was like, it's really not that hard to be a decent person and a good friend. Like, it's really not that difficult.
No, it's not. It really isn't. Well, I don't know. Maybe for some people it is,
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's you're going to see it in your workplace.
Yep.
You're going to see it with your family. It's you can't escape it. It's the way things are in the world. Unfortunately, you just got to accept how people are, but just don't let it affect you and change who you are, because that's what sometimes what happens, and people they react too strongly to it and they start going.
No, you taking shots?
No, not you. I'm not taking shots.
I know I had a bit of an emotional breakdown on Scumcast and afterwards, but I'm doing the best I can. All right.
I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about in general. If I was taking shots at you, I would look down and try to find you. Then I'll take my shot.
First of all, you're not doing this.
and no, someone in the chat said talking about Hard 8. I don't know who that is. I'm not talking about Hard 8. I'm just talking about just people that I've heard in the community that don't even play games, but they talk about games. So I think I'm not talking about anyone in particular, but if that's who you are, you should probably play some games so you don't look very fraudulent. That's all.
Yeah. I hear you, man. I hear you. Real quick, guys, before we wrap up this BRAP rant, I do want to get to one more topic of the evening, and that has to do with I don't know, I would say a pretty famous game developer, Cliffy B.
Good old Cliffy.
Yeah, the man behind games like Gears of War, if you've ever heard that, and Unreal Tournament. He actually worked on that. That's where most of his claim to fame came from. Well, probably Gears actually, but he was there for Uncharted, Unreal Tournament. If you guys remember that on PC, that's old.
I remember it. Yeah.
That's like when Quake and like Unreal were like just popping.
Yep.
Okay, that's nice.
Yeah. Lucas like, okay.
I think that was before Lucas' time.
Definitely before my time.
Yeah, it was before Lucas' time. That's mouse keyboard days for Xbox Live. Yep. So somebody actually tweeted Cliffy B, said, "Hey Cliff, I was wondering, with you having a relationship with Phil, why not strike a deal with Microsoft and do an exclusive new IP, maybe a third-person action adventure type?" Cliffy's response: "If only I already pitched that."
Intriguing.
So did Cliffy pitch a game and get turned down by Microsoft?
That would kind of explain some of the
his bitter ass behavior, acting like a scorned ex-lover, like
because how his behavior. I've never heard anyone. Most people are very respectful when they say they're not putting a game on a platform. When he was pitching Lawbreakers and going out and publicly trying to get people to know about the game. His comments about it not coming on Xbox, it was pretty
inflammatory.
Yeah, it was pretty tense. So maybe
he had beef with him from the Gears of War days at Epic. He had to beef from that.
Yeah,
beef is understandable, but didn't they make him rich basically?
Facts.
Yeah.
But do they own him if they make him rich?
What do you mean own him?
Here's the thing. Like, I understand. Okay, so they made him money, right? He got upset because, and I don't know all the nuances to what happened at Epic, but some of the fact that he also didn't want to be cranking out Gears of War the way Microsoft wanted them to.
Okay.
And that's kind of ultimately like why he decided to leave and do his own thing.
Well, Cliffy says a lot of stuff. I mean, he also went at Epic as well on Twitter, talking about they're trying to steal his people.
Didn't Cliffy make remarks about the PC platform being trash or something like that?
I don't remember if he said that.
Someone confirm that for me, please. But it's like he just, in my opinion, he is a guy who got rich off this, off his hard work, but off of Microsoft backing as well. And Microsoft is a company, and they wanted a product at a certain amount of time, and he was like, "Nah, fam, I don't want to do that because I want my stuff to possibly just because he wants his stuff to be quality and not just cranked out like that, right?" But he left, which is perfectly fine. But in a business sense, he shouldn't have been acting the way he acted. Like, he acts like a fucking jock in high school bullying like nerds or whatever, right? So
he thinks he's edgy. He thinks he's edgy. He's not edgy.
It sucks that Lawbreakers was damn, that game, that is it's bad, dude. Like, what happened with that game is really bad, but he didn't help the situation by being an asshole.
Yeah, and there is the sentiment that a lot of people didn't get Lawbreakers, which I heard was actually a pretty good game, but didn't get the game just because he was attached to it. And that's I wouldn't say the game it was too similar to Overwatch for me, and I'm like, I was already tired of Overwatch at that point, so I'm like, I'm not playing this game. But for someone to just kind of be that bitter about it, I can't really agree with that. But the dude is just he at the same time, he causes a lot of the negativity that affects the projects he's working on.
Dude, for real though, I don't understand how someone can really come up on Twitter and say, I need to focus on making sure this game does well. You know, I'm trying to keep the lights on and my people employed so they don't have, like that shit, right? Like he went on this whole spiel about how he like needs to take care of his people, and then in like the same breath is a complete and total like fuckface to like potential customers. Like I don't listen. No matter how you feel about something or someone personally, when you're out there trying to sell a product, you better suck it up and put on a smile. That's all I got to say.
I just find it ironic. He went at Epic and he's like, stop trying to steal my employees. And Epic could have came back with fire and said, well, stop trying to steal our game. Like drop the mic on them, just like, because what are you talking about? You basically in 5 months spun up a clone of Fortnite.
With an 80s theme to it. What's the game that he's coming out with? What's it called again? It's
something Heights, Radical Heights.
Radical Heights, yeah.
Crash Simulator,
yeah. It's it borrows a lot of from 80s TVs, kind of like Blade Runner from the 80s.
I mean, what happened to Lawbreakers? I thought he was focusing on that.
That ship sunk, I think. Yeah, Neo Metal Radical Heights. That's
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I just thought it was interesting that tweet that he put that out there. So B Money says I want to know in the live chat, because I asked B Money, I said, why he thought Lawbreakers tanked, and he said skill-based shooters never shine. It's the reason SOCOM isn't around. There's some truth to that. I mean, I think that I think with the advent of games like Call of Duty and more of the shooters are kind of easier to pick up and play. Those games like SOCOM was, I mean, that's one game I'd like Sony to bring back, SOCOM. I don't know if you guys ever played SOCOM back in the days.
Yeah, I played it.
I don't know what that is.
Yeah, back on
I know what it is.
Old school PlayStation.
Would you say, Luca, used to play SOCOM?
No, I said I'm too young to know what that is, and then I was like, no, I'm kidding. I know what it is.
Yeah, no, SOCOM was no joke. SOCOM was no joke. I remember that. I'd love for them. Sony should bring that back. If they, you know what? Imagine if they drop SOCOM at E3 this year. That place will go nuts.
Hey, it might happen. I mean, they haven't really shown anything new in a while, so it'll be, it wouldn't surprise me if they did.
People would go. I'm telling. People would say Sony won E3 off that one announcement.
It's happened before. People said,
that's what I'm saying.
People said Sony won E3s off of announcing, not even showing a trailer, announcing Shenmue 3.
Yeah,
that game still ain't out yet.
Nope.
Having the Final Fantasy VII remake on their stage, even though it's going to be on it's going to be multi-platform, but hey, Final Fantasy VII, oh my god,
yeah, that's everything.
That's probably going to be a next gen game, the way that development is going, if you've been following that. But to go back to B Money's point, I think the reason why the reason why skill-based shooters aren't really that prevalent anymore is because publishers know that you need to, in order to get more people in, more casual gamers in, you need to have something that's a little bit easier. A little bit the learning curve isn't as
steep,
as steep, because that's how you're going to sell copies, and they're all about making that money and making shareholders happy. So unfortunately, that's why you see things like Ghost Recon go from being a very technical shooter to being open world.
It's funny you mentioned Ghost Recon. How do you think about that? You're right. I mean, Ghost Recon was a more technical shooter, and now it's just like this big open world game. It's not the Ghost Recon that I grew up playing.
Nope. Although I do enjoy sniping in Wildlands, the bullet drop off and leading. Yeah. It's so great. And I got this one sniper rifle. I can shoot down a chopper with one bullet. It's just it's just I will just get back in the game sometimes just to raise hell and shoot everything down for a little while and then just put it down. Just that's one aspect of it that's still there, but they made it open world so they can get more people playing it, and it worked because Wildlands sold like crazy last year.
Yeah, Ubisoft has done well with that with open world games of service.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they really have. So, all right, well that's all the topics we have for tonight. This was a quick one, and want to thank Slow Mo and Luca for dropping by and hanging out with me tonight. Thank you guys.
Weren't you guys on for like an hour and 30 minutes? Yeah,
we usually go. Well, BRAP usually goes on for about 2 hours.
This is not BRAP, sir. This is a BRAP rants. It's not the official podcast.
What's more or less? It's BRAP. It's BRAP regardless.
Sir, I am trying to kidnap you from BRAP, and you will not let me. So,
man, everybody hit that like button.
Yeah, hit the like button, people. Come on.
Hit the like button if you want Enrique to join Scumcast.
Okay. Let's throw this out to the chat. Who wants to see Enrique join Scumcast?
A lot of your not everyone, but a couple of your subscribers don't like me, so I don't know, man.
Me, I would like it.
Like no one's responding in the live chat. Just say yes if you want me to join Scumcast. Don't call me Danny says I already did.
Listen.
Oh, here we go. Slobo says yes.
Who's that slow-mo guy?
Who's that guy?
Who's that guy?
Sounds sexy.
Oh, whoa.
Oh, okay. Easy there. OBJ to Don says join Scumcast. Neo Metal says sure. Gaming Forte says yes, I would watch. All right, so we got a couple yeses.
Eric's like, you still haven't joined? That's what I like to hear, Eric.
Yeah, Eric just said you still haven't joined Scumcast. That's funny. Eric, you're quiet, man. Usually you're in the chat making Sea of Thieves jokes.
I think OBJ, like, he wants you to join Scumcast because, I got on your case about not being able to pronounce OBJ the Don.
OBJ, I was killing that.
Were you drunk? Like, what was going on?
No, I just couldn't. I just couldn't pronounce it for whatever reason. I forget what I was calling him.
Yeah, it was
OBJ Don or something. I was calling him like OBJ Don or something, and they're like, "What?" They're like, "It's OBJ to Don." I still couldn't pronounce it.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. I was like, "Okay." Well.
Oh boy,
boy. Ryan Landis says that cast is dangerous. She'll get hurt. Don't do it.
Eric says he was hired as a freelancer by Rare to finish the Kraken.
Oh man.
Eric, you got your work cut out for you, man.
He said, "So I'm busy with my crayons."
Y'all don't have to talk about Sea of Thieves like that.
Savage.
They actually hired me freelance to create a story.
Oh,
but I don't have anything to work with, so I'm just gonna have to make up something on my own.
Jesus.
No, looking at your icon, Slow-mo. What Blue was mentioning is actually starting to bother me.
What did Blue mention?
We'll talk about it off air.
Here we go.
Oh, I think I know what you're referring to, Luca.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay. So, on that note, thank you, Luca and Slow-mo. Appreciate you guys coming by again tonight, hanging out with us. Luca, where can people find you? I can't even talk tonight. Where can people find you?
You guys can find me at the Ashen Luca on Twitter, and that's it. I'm nowhere else.
All right, Slow-mo.
You can find me at Slow-mo Backslap on Twitter, and also on Luca's podcast called The Scumcast that airs on Saturdays. That for some reason she didn't mention.
Huh?
Yeah, you didn't mention Scumcast comes on Saturdays, Luca.
Scumcast occasionally comes out on Saturdays, occasionally comes on Sundays. It really just comes on whenever I feel like it because I'm a scummy person, and I don't have a set schedule for anything I do in my life.
It's Saturdays at 12 p.m. Central Time, and then whenever Luca gets triggered.
Yeah, which is often.
When Luca gets triggered. Luca, can you explain to the fans too, real quick, before we wrap up, why you call it the Scumcast?
Okay, well, a while back, right? I think it was either, okay, I don't remember what story I initially gave, but I know one of the stories, because I've been called a scumbag like more than once, but my brother was upset at me and he called me a scumbag, even though he's like the scummiest person I know. So I kind of just rode with it. I'm like, yeah, I'm scumbag Luca the scumbag. It says it in my description in my Twitter as well. And then I thought it would just be funny, be like, oh, okay, scumbag Luca, scumcast. That'd be fun, you know? So it's just a little play on words. Plus, I'm just a really awful person, and I like to get other people who, can balance out some of my more scummy tendencies. Or sometimes I have people who, who are scummier than I am, and then they can do all the dirty work for me. Like I have all day on there dropping people's names that I refuse to drop, but he can drop them. It's fine.
This is why we need you on, Enrique. We need the light side to balance the dark.
I see.
He shall be corrupted by me.
Yeah. All right. So big shout out to everyone in the live chat again. Thanks everyone for stopping by and hanging out with us tonight. Definitely appreciate the support. Great chat as always.
Chat was awesome.
Thanks, OBJ.
Yeah, thank you, OBJ. OBJ to Don. I can say it. Yay. And keep an eye out. Hey, we got to do something DMV related. So we might want to.
I'm down, man.
Yeah, OBJ says Redskins winning that Super Bowl this year. Man, that's not happening.
Okay.
Come on.
The Don is drunk. So even I as a diehard Redskin fan, I'm not saying that. We not even making the playoffs. So
yeah, no playoffs this year. They are garbage. So yeah, we got to do like a DMV like sports thing or something, like a sports podcast. Since we have some Redskins fans here in the live chat.
We can do it live at the Green Turtle.
Yeah, we can do it live at the Green Turtle. We can do it. Yep.
Get me out of here.
All right. And on that note, we will not be live this Wednesday. It is my wife's birthday. And so we will be out celebrating. So
that's nice.
That's cool, man.
Yeah. So no BRAP podcast this Wednesday. I know everyone's going to be upset and sad, but we'll be back next week, Wednesday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, with our regular podcast. And we'll be talking about some God of War, which drops this Friday. So we'll give you our thoughts and impressions on what could be game of the generation, maybe. So definitely don't want to miss that. Next week on Wednesday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. On that note, we are out. Again, thank you, everyone, for stopping by and hanging out with us. And keep an eye out for that Turtle podcast, because that's happen. Out. Luca's yawning. Slow-mo, thank you. We're out, everyone. Peace.
Peace.
Say bye, Luca.
Oh, I said bye.
Oh, I didn't hear you. You gotta go bye.
Oh, bye.